Good morning, grade 2. Today is Friday, April 3rd, 2020, 4-3-20. I have a couple things to talk to you about on your math for today. And one of the things you'll notice, you have a worksheet today. It's kind of a fun activity, but you have to wait until you can get some materials from me that your families will pick up either today or tomorrow. So sometime if you get your materials today, great. Otherwise, wait until you get them and then finish the worksheet and you can do it and turn it in. I will tell you what to do on it though, okay? So on your worksheet page, you notice that across the top it has, let me look at my copy here. 1 second. Yep, across the top it has bars where you have different years. So what you're going to do is I'm going to send home a whole bunch of pennies with you. And you have to look at each penny and look at the front of each penny. And if you look at the front of each penny, just down near the chest of Abraham Lincoln, there's a year. Okay, like this one here says 1994. I realize you can't see that on here because it's way too far away. And it's written quite small, so you do have to be a good detective and have your detective eyes on, okay? So you look at that date, and whichever one it is, you just, first of all, do the bars across the top and just make tally marks. So whichever range it falls into, do tally marks to show that one, okay? And then you'll do that with all the pennies that I send you. Then once you have all the pennies and have them all recorded with those tally marks, then we're going to create a graph down below. And if you'll notice, the graph is counting by twos. So let's say that you have an amount of pennies for one of the set of years that comes to 12. You wouldn't go up 12 boxes, you would only go up 6 because you're counting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, okay? So you would just go up that many lines and color it in. I think what I'll do is, I didn't make a copy of that worksheet to do on the document camera with you, but I think later today I'll do that. I'll get a copy of that and then I'll do that, show you an example so that when you do get your pennies, you'll know exactly what to do, okay? Sound good? All right. I do want to go through the top part of lesson 113 with you though, because we aren't doing that worksheet first. So would you pause the video and get your binder and get lesson 113 out for me, please? All right. Okie dokie. So if you look at that top one, it's looking at the children in Mrs. Afanita's class, and they chose their favorite fruits. 8 children chose bananas. 15 children chose oranges, and 7 children chose apples. Color the graph to show how many children chose each type. So I'd like to talk to you and work through this. So notice for bananas, it said that it's 8. Do you see the numbers down on the bottom? Do you see how they count 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16? This is an example of a graph counting by twos, okay? So what we want to do is for the bananas, we want to go across and how many boxes will we color in? We won't color in 8, right? We'll color in 4. All right, so color in with your pencil 4 boxes for bananas. And notice if you follow that line down where you stopped, it will be right at the 8 mark. I'll give you a second to do that. All right, and now let's look at oranges. And remember, anytime if I'm going a little bit too fast, you just pause the video and you can always start it right back up again. Oranges, it says 15. Well, we don't have a number 15 on the bottom, but where would 15 be? You got it, right between the 14 and the 16, halfway in between. So you're going to make a line halfway between the 14 and the 16 in that box, just after the 14. And now you're going to color that row in. So you'll color in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 whole boxes, and then half of the next box. Give you a second or two to do that. Is it making sense? All right, let's try the last one. It says that 7 children chose apples. Do you think you can figure out where that one would go? You're right, between the 6 and the 8. So for apples, we color in 3 full boxes and then half of the box right after the 6. You got it. All right, so I wanted to go through that one with you and make sure that you understood that so that you know what to do when you were using a graph that's counting by 2. Now, underneath that, it says write a question for the graph. You write a question for me, and I'm going to answer it when I answer back on what your grade is. Let me give you an example. And remember, now that I give you an example, you cannot use my example, right? Okay, you have to come up with your own. A question I might ask is, how many more children chose bananas than apples? I would remember to write my sentence with a capital letter at the beginning and the appropriate end mark at the end. Remember, you're asking a question. All right, that's our work for today. I think most of you have sent me a copy of your work for the science page, The Sun. It looked like you had some fun trying to make rainbows. And then make sure you're continuing to work on EPIC and your AR reading. If you didn't already read Mice and Beans, make sure you did that and take care of that. I think everybody did their spelling test yesterday, so you are thumbs up, ready to go. Remember to call me if you have any questions, and enjoy the weekend.